Hey, what's up guys? So last October, I was the best man at one of my best friend's weddings. Shout out to Andrew and Sarah for their wedding. And you know what came after that? The honeymoon came after that. They went to Spain. And based on the photos, it looked like a great trip. That is not what we're talking about today though. We are talking about the Amazon merch, and not really Amazon merch. This really applies to pretty much all Amazon products published to their catalog. We're talking about the honeymoon period that is granted, let's say granted, like Amazon has granted us this privilege when we publish new products to their catalog as a function of the Amazon algorithm. So in this video, we are going to kind of deep dive into it. And what's fortunate is we're going to basically piggyback off of some other people that have done their due diligence and put together a really well-written article on the subject. So we're going to look that over in this video. Let's get started. Quick reminder, in the description of this video, I run a free weekly print-on-demand giveaway. You can enter. It takes like 10 seconds. 2 winners are going to be randomly selected and announced this Sunday. Also down there, I've got a free Merch by Amazon 7-day mini course. All I need is your email address. I'll send you 1 lesson a day, and it's pretty thorough. I got really good feedback on it. And I've got a great Amazon merch Facebook group. If you guys would like to join, you can find the link down there. So we are here on Quantify Ninja. I will include a link to the article in the description in case you want to follow along. So the article was published May of 2021. It's an 8-minute read, and I'll probably just read through it and give commentary as we go. And it is titled, "What is Amazon's honeymoon period and how to capitalize on it for product launches?" So as an FBA seller, you may often feel like you'd like to break up with your fickle partner, Amazon. So for all the FBA sellers out there, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, this is going to apply, I believe, to more than just FBA. So if you're not an FBA seller, stick with me. But don't forget the good times, like the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period is a somewhat controversial issue. We've seen some of our members of our Amazon sellers community asking whether the honeymoon period really exists or is it merely a rumor. Nevertheless, in this post, we're going to answer all of your questions regarding the honeymoon period, why it happens, when it starts, how long it lasts, and how sellers can benefit from it for a new product launch on Amazon, and how sellers get a second honeymoon period. But first, these things. Let's define what exactly it is and what sellers when they refer to the Amazon honeymoon period. Sorry, it's written in like a weird English, like old English style or something. What is the Amazon honeymoon period? Sellers refer to the time right after a product launch on Amazon as the honeymoon period. New product listings can easily rank higher than normal for keywords on Amazon search results during this period. Sellers who capitalize on the honeymoon period can get more visibility in front of shoppers during their product launch, boost sales, get reviews for their new listings, and eventually position their products for long-term success. How can we know if the honeymoon period is real? Amazon didn't create the honeymoon period intentionally. Rather, it's a byproduct of how their search algorithm, the A9 algorithm, ranks product listings. The problem is that Amazon keeps the principles by which Amazon's search algorithm works as a secret, similar to how Google does, guys, so that sellers won't manipulate the algorithm. Therefore, one thing is certain: no one outside of Amazon knows for sure how the algorithm works. And to take 10 seconds to elaborate on that, because I had someone email me a question similar to this just the other day. Guys, when it comes to web development, there is front end and there's back end. Front end code is everything that your web browser compiles, and it's what you see right here on the screen behind me. Okay, and you can always right click, view source, see all the code. I was a front end web developer, so that's the stuff that I dealt with. There's also back end web developers, and they write the code that runs on Amazon servers before they figure out what code to send to the web browser that ultimately renders in the form of this page you see behind me. So we cannot see the back end code. That stays private on Amazon's servers. All right, so Wikipedia defines an algorithm as a finite sequence of well-defined computer implementable instructions, typically to solve a class of problems or to perform a computation. Since an algorithm is finite, we can measure its results, how it behaves in various situations, and decipher how it works in order to predict its results. After measuring the results of many product launches, sharing and receiving information from thousands of sellers in the community, we now know for sure that the honeymoon period is real and that sellers can certainly benefit from it when launching new products. The honeymoon period explained. As we mentioned above, the honeymoon period is an outcome of the functioning of the A9 algorithm. So let's explain a few main principles by which the search algorithm works, and then we can easily understand the honeymoon period and why new products rank higher than normal during this period. Everybody knows that Amazon's search algorithm helps customers find the most relevant products for their searches in order to maximize conversion rates and sales. Sellers continuously optimize their product listings for search by adding keywords to their product's title, description, and backend, improving their images, getting reviews, etc., so that their listings can rank higher. Quick note, of course, if you're doing merch by Amazon or even KDP, you have limited access to what you can change, but you can still change, the title. You can still change some of the bullets, etc. You can't get the backend keywords through merch, and you can't get backend keywords through merch. You can get them through KDP actually, though. You can get backend keywords through KDP, so just merch you can't. Besides the keywords, images, and reviews, the A9 algorithm ranks products based on their conversion rates, history per keyword or search term. In fact, your product's conversion rates and sales history plays a very significant role in search ranking. But how does Amazon's A9 algorithm deal with new products that were recently launched and have no sales history yet? So of course, guys, if we had to write an algorithm and we want to put the right product in front of the right customer, the easiest signal that provides verification and validation is, well, in the past, customers who searched for this phrase clicked this product and bought it. So we want to rank that product higher, right? It's pretty simple. And we can measure these as percentages, click-through rate, conversion rate, etc. Sales history holds so much weight in Amazon's A9 algorithm calculations that the chances of successfully launching new products would be slim to none if Amazon had not found a way to identify their sales potential quickly and rank them accordingly. Amazon's remedy for the problem is not to factor in sales history when the algorithm ranks new products. Instead, it ranks them solely on their keywords, images, etc. during the period after their launch. This solution ensures that new products get the exposure they need in front of customers so that the algorithm can measure their conversion rate and collect sales history data in order to rank them. This is something that we have long suspected with regard specifically to merch by Amazon because, these new products would get absolutely buried, but it's really not the case. If you've launched enough of them in, you can't just say like, oh, new shirt called dog shirt or funny cat shirt. You know what I mean? Too broad. But if you give it a chance, you do tend to get some sales, and you're like, man, how did I get a sale in this niche when it's so saturated? It's because they'll give it a chance, guys. And now we have a phrase for it, the honeymoon period. In practice, the solution Amazon uses to rank new products presents a terrific opportunity for sellers to boost sales, get reviews, and promote their listing during the first 4 weeks after a product launch. When does the honeymoon period start and how long does it last? The Amazon honeymoon period starts when your inventory reaches Amazon warehouse and product is live and ready for sale. So for non-FBA products, guys, basically as long as you have inventory greater than 0, if it's FBM, if it's merch, you have infinite inventory, if it's KDP, infinite. So basically as soon as it's live. Our experiments show that it takes the search algorithm roughly 4 weeks to collect enough sales history data on a new listing, after which the grace period is over and the benefits are gone. Hence, sellers are encouraged to prepare beforehand because once their listing is live, it's game on. There are only 4 weeks to make the most of this opportunity and have a successful product launch. Now, I mean, I've definitely had successful product launches beyond just the initial 4 weeks when I have, wasted that initial 4 weeks before. It's not I definitely trust what I see in this article, but I'm just saying even if you waste this grace period, you can still be successful because I've done it firsthand. But I do agree that generally speaking, if your listing is live, if you have quantity of product available for purchase greater than 0 and the buy it now button is there, you really want your listing to be polished. If it's merch, you don't have control over that many things. But if it's FBA, you especially, that's why, man, my FBA course, it's very detail oriented because if you're going to spend money on launching a product, you're invested. So you better do the best you can to make it a success. How to capitalize on Amazon's honeymoon period during your product launch. There's a lot to be written on how to successfully launch a product on Amazon that we don't cover in this post. However, this special period can give your new listing such an advantage in the future that we can't stress enough how important it is to have the best product launch possible. You should be absolutely ready with a marketing plan to generate traffic, sales, and reviews, and a perfectly optimized listing before your inventory is received at Amazon's warehouse or before your listing goes live. Typically, guys, if it's FBA, when your listing or when your inventory is received, that's when it goes live, right? Because you don't create the FBA inbound shipment before creating the product listing. And when you create the shipment and you order the products and they get to the warehouse, well, guess what? Your quantity is going to be greater than 0. It's going to be live. So you really need your stuff to be ready. Many sellers prefer to take a slow approach of uploading their product to Amazon and invest time and money in marketing it later down the line. It's a viable approach if you're not sure that your product will be successful and you don't want to risk too much. But in terms of getting the most out of the honeymoon period, it's a mistake. Even if you're on a tight budget, you should try and reap the benefits of the honeymoon period with at least a minimal product launch. So then they say, learn the most advanced techniques that top Amazon sellers use when they launch products. I can probably guess most of those. Set a sufficient budget for your product launch, whether that's external traffic to Amazon or, just internal traffic on Amazon through Amazon ads. I did do a video a couple months back, maybe 2 or 3 months back, where I partnered with an Amazon agency. They set up a bunch of Facebook and Google ads and drove external traffic to my product listing. It was before Christmas, so it was probably in like November when I was doing the work, and I did a video on it in December. It actually worked. It took me from the 8th spot to the 2nd organic spot on the primary keywords. Extremely valuable keywords, especially that time of year. So external traffic, don't sleep on that. Do your homework and find the most relevant keywords for your product, and make sure these are keywords you have a fighting chance of competing on, right? Like not just funny cat shirt. You're wasting your time there. If not, Amazon won't put much stock in ranking your listing for that for them. Include medium and low volume search keywords in your title, description, bullet points, and back end, not just high search volume ones. So you don't just want to have the high level generic funny cat shirt. You want to have funny cat shirt gift for grandma, or you know what I mean? Mother's Day cat shirt, something like that, like a little bit more specific. So you don't miss out when Amazon shoppers search for those. Your listing's main image must be spectacular. I'm going to repeat that one. Your listing's main image must be spectacular. The main image is the one that counts, guys. It counts way more than the others because that's what they see in search results. You need to get clicked before they are on your product listing and they decide whether or not to convert into a paid customer by adding to cart and checking out. So this is the image that customers see when search results come up, and this is your chance to grab their attention, make them click you. If you can't afford it, start running auto PPC ads on a significant budget immediately after the product launch to find relevant keywords for your listing quickly. Now, I mean, auto campaigns, yeah, like if you didn't speak English and you were launching a product on the English market, you would lean exclusively on an auto campaign. Of course, if you speak the language, you can also pretty much guess what a lot of your primary keywords are going to be. But when you run auto campaigns, you also get some long tail suggestions as well. And so you want to cast a wide net with auto campaigns and then move some of those keywords that are converting over to manual campaigns where you control the match type, you control the bids, etc. And you can control like how much money you really invest into ranking on each specific term. The higher you convert, the more money you want to spend to invest on, building your rank. Request a review for each sale and try to get at least 10 to 25 reviews during the honeymoon period. There's a way of requesting reviews, by the way, without triggering like Amazon getting mad at you. Make sure your first shipment is large enough that you don't run out of inventory. And that can sometimes be easier said than done because you don't want to order too much and get stuck with a bunch of inventory that you can't move as well. To close out the article, how can sellers get a second honeymoon period? So you can do it by restarting your product listing. Some sellers call it restarting a product listing or a reset or relevancy reset. Employing this technique means to do over the entire content of your listing, the title, the description, the bullet points, the images, and the keywords. Taking your listing through such a dramatic change will force Amazon's search algorithm to recalibrate and rank your listing all over again. This process may provide a similar opportunity to the first honeymoon period where you can get higher keyword rankings and boost sales, but at the same time, your listing will lose all of its existing keyword rankings. So you're really not supposed to do that, by the way, because on Amazon's catalog, it's supposed to be like, hey, this ASIN is this UPC, which is this unique product. So if you do this, you run a little bit of a risk, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. And we're going to go ahead and trust this article that they did their due diligence and they know that it works. 2, relaunching your product listing. Relaunching an Amazon product is similar to launching a brand new product. In a relaunch, sellers create a new ASIN for their existing product and start ranking again from scratch. So this would apply more to like FBA sellers, most likely. The upside is that the new ASIN will go through a honeymoon period just like any other new listing, and the seller already knows the keywords and has the images needed for the listing, so they don't have to redo all the work. The relaunch's major downside is that the listing loses all of its previous sales rank, history, and reviews. So the important takeaway about the second honeymoon is that it doesn't mean that a successful listing can get special ranking benefits. No, it means that if your product isn't successful due to bad reviews, fierce competition, etc., and you're willing to throw away its sales history, you can relaunch it. Then when you start fresh, you can get the benefits of the honeymoon period once more. Now, I've never actually done like a hard reset on any of my product listings. I have gone in and like tinkered with old merch listings to try to get them back up into the sales ranks, and I have actually at times had some success, but oftentimes a lot of my best-selling older products lost their sales because somebody just came in, cloned the product, basically just kind of stole the listing. I don't even know if they stole pixel for pixel. They relaunched it, redesigned it similar, and then they just undercut me. And I don't really, personally like to spend time, just kind of scraping through Amazon's catalog every day for hours on end, trying to see if people undercut my existing listings. Like, I personally, that's not how I go about doing my approach to merch by Amazon, but I don't hate on people that do that. We're all different. There's lots of ways to go about it. That is one tactic, because yes, if you're making sales, people will undercut you. It just comes with the territory because it's so easy to. All right, guys, but that's it, guys. How did you like this video? What do you think? Did you learn something? I know I learned quite a bit. I'm assuming, again, that they did their due diligence. They've got good data to support what they asserted in this article. So as far as merch goes, though, because we wanted to put a merch by Amazon slant on it, hey, have you guys ever gone back in and done one of these like hard refreshes of your older merch listings, like redid the title completely, redid the bullets, the description, etc., and tried to get, and probably redo the price as well, and try to get Amazon to resurrect it from the dead? Let me know if you had success with that in the past, or let me know your thoughts, guys. But thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.